Hope you guys have a great New Year's. I'm really excited for this video. It's the last video of the year, but anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this Is It Worth It on Brilliant Fusion. So Brilliant Fusion has had a spike in price as of recent. And with that, I think this is a perfect time than ever to ask the question, is Brilliant Fusion worth it in 2019? So with that, let's get right into it. So let's start by actually talking about what Brilliant Fusion does. Brilliant Fusion is a continuous spell with the following effect. When this card is activated, fusion summon one Gem Knight fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your deck as fusion materials, but change its attack and defense to 0. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. Once per turn, you can discard one spell card. The monster special summoned by this card's effect gains attack and defense equal to its original attack and defense until the end of your opponent's turn. You can only activate one Brilliant Fusion per turn. Obviously, at first glance, this effect seems absolutely amazing considering the fact that it's basically a Shaddoll fusion that doesn't require your opponent to control an extra deck monster. You can literally activate this at any point, and with that could be potentially very powerful. However, the key thing is, what fusion monster can you summon off of this? Well, that's where Gem Knight Seraphonite comes in. To get a better understanding of why Brilliant Fusion is so good, let's actually read Seraphonite. So most importantly, its materials are one Gem Knight monster and one Light monster, but it has the following effect as well. Must first be fusion summoned with the above fusion materials. During your main phase, you can normal summon / set one monster in addition to your normal summon / set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. So, Seraphonite is absolutely ridiculous in unison with Brilliant Fusion. Brilliant Fusion sends from deck, as I've already stated. So because Gem Knight Seraphonite requires you to send a light monster from your deck, this gives you quite a lot of versatility in what you can send. Again, because it says one light monster, you can send any light monster in the game, making it a foolish burial for light monsters. This is one of the big reasons why this card is so powerful. Sending cards like Fairy Tale Snow for more disruption / an additional body with already established setup, Perform Mages for more bodies without any initial setup, you can send Light Sworns, Eclipse Wyvern, and so many gosh darn good monsters that this card absolutely is ridiculous. That's why you would see this card in decks like Light Sworn or Zombie Sworn or 60 card Light Sworn, etc., or just any 60 card deck back in the day when that grass looks greener was legal. The reason why you would see this card is because it puts Fairy Tale Snow in the graveyard. Again, you also have versatility in other options for what you can send as well, but just in general, Brilliant Fusion has so much versatility, and because Fairy Tale Snow is honestly the best target for Brilliant Fusion, and because it's such a good card, that means that overall, Brilliant Fusion just becomes so substantially better because of that one card. But this is also an example of how Brilliant Fusion can get better in the future. If we get another amazing light monster to send to the graveyard with Brilliant Fusion, then Brilliant Fusion just becomes even better. If it was only a foolish for a light monster, that would already be absolutely amazing. But then you have to consider that Seraphonite is also a free body that gives you an additional normal summon. So think about it this way. Brilliant Fusion summons Seraphonite, which is already a free body, so you're not going neg at all. You're sending a light monster, which for example could be a Perform Mage Trick Clown in order to special summon itself from the graveyard. Then you have Seraphonite, which gives you an additional normal summon, basically saying, hey, whatever you have in hand, I'll help you get it onto the field. Basically, Brilliant Fusion means you basically de-brick your entire hand, and that's just so gosh darn good. Having that additional normal summon is nothing to scoff at, especially for a deck like, again, the 60 card Lightsworn decks back in the day when you had a bunch of normal summons in the deck, but then you had Brilliant Fusion, which can basically de-brick your entire hand because you gain that additional normal summon along with the extra light monster engraved. As well, Seraphonite is just another body for link summoning. This is so good because of the light targets you can send off of Brilliant Fusion. Seraphonite becomes that much better as putting an additional body through its normal summon through the light monster you send to the graveyard, and so overall this card just gives you, again, so much freaking free advantage off of one card. For some decks, this is the best card in the entire deck. This card is almost too powerful. However, I've only talked about the positives so far. There is one big drawback with this card. You see, when you play Brilliant Fusion, you have to send both materials listed on the card. And because these are Gem Knight monsters, you have to send a Gem Knight along with the light monster. This card is where the term Garnet was coined, because this was the card to popularize playing bricks for very powerful effects. Some other examples are Speedroid Taka Tomborg and playing Darling Tonia Cobra, which we'll be talking about this card later. The term Garnet is referring to the actual card Gem Knight Garnet. This, in most cases, is the best Gem Knight to play simply because of its 1900 attack. However, you could also recur a Lazuli to recruit a normal monster from your grave to hand. One amazing example of Lazuli being practical is either to go for a Galaxy Serpent and normal summoning it as an additional normal to synchro for a level 7 synchro, or you can send a Meg Knight Avrim, normal summon that Meg Knight Avrim, and then link for a Meg Knight Morningstar. Or you can just link for whatever link monster you want. You can also send other light tuners to synchro for higher level monsters. For example, you can probably send a level 3 light tuner if that exists to synchro for a level 8 monster, etc. Ideally, however, you do not want to draw either of these bricks because of the fact that it only serves the purpose of activating Brilliant Fusion. In fact, the issue with this entire engine is the fact that if you draw a Garnet, in this case being either Garnet or again Lazuli, etc., your entire engine is dead. If you have no Gem Knight in your deck, you cannot resolve Brilliant Fusion. Now yes, we do have a card like Saryuja nowadays to put the Garnet back. However, that already requires a lot of initial setup to put out 4 monsters with different names. Now there's this whole thing of the question being 1 or 2 Garnets. The fact is you could play 1 copy so you don't see it that much, and the fact is you don't see it nearly as much as playing 2 copies of it, but if you draw that one of, then your Brilliant Fusion can't be activated. However, you could play 2 copies of Garnet and draw 1 copy more often, which goes against what you want, but in that case it will make your Brilliant Fusion live more often. So this is the question of 1 or 2 Garnets. Personally, I run 1, because you only have a 33% chance of seeing Brilliant Fusion in hand, so it's not worth playing 2 Garnets, but that's besides the point. Brilliant Fusion is also a fusion card which should be pointed out because of the fact you can search it with a card like Predaplant Ophrys Scorpio into Darling Tonia Cobra. The reason that this engine is so good is because it automatically is a rank 3 or 2 bodies on the field and a search for the fusion. The issue is this engine is very fragile to hand traps, and I feel it's better to not run these cards. Brilliant Fusion also doesn't necessarily need to be ran for Seraphinite, however, considering we see Brilliant Fusion being played in Thunder Dragons for Prismara. While some Thunder Dragon lists can be seen playing Seraphinite, usually you want to summon Prismara for a Foolish of a Thunder and a free Thunder Fusion, all without your normal summon. As well, the Garnet you play for Thunder Dragons would be Gem Knight Amber, which is a Thunder monster giving you some more synergy with Thunder Dragons. I would actually play 2 copies of Amber in Thunder Dragons, as technically it's not bad to draw 1 considering it's a Thunder monster. You can also play this engine in the future for fusions that can send a Pyro, Aqua, or Rock monster, because there are counterparts to Prismara that send these typings. So overall, Brilliant Fusion is a great card for quite a few decks. This card will see play for a long time from now, as it's a very hard card to power creep considering that we'll get better and better monsters to use with this card. But the question is it worth it? Right now, it's around $33 for Brilliant Fusion with 1 Seraphinite and 1 Garnet and 3 copies of Brilliant Fusion. Considering the price for this version of the Brilliant Fusion engine, I 100% recommend this engine. It's only $33 for an engine that will see play in the future. This engine, to be fair, is only good in select decks and not every deck, so some examples of the decks this card is good in is, for example, Light Swarms and Mech Knight Invoked. Mech Invoked, again, as I mentioned earlier, can send an Aurum to get back with Lazuli and have it be a 1-card Morningstar. However, this card does come up in relevancy over time, and for $33, I think it's good to have in your back pocket just in case. As for the Thunder variant of this engine, which costs $52, I only recommend it if you're playing Thunder Dragons. This variant of the engine is considerably more expensive and won't be worth the money after Thunder Dragons are in a deck, so you'll only get play out of this version of the Brilliant Fusion engine while Thunder Dragons are a deck. However, to be fair, Seraphonite and Garnet are below $2 combined. So at the same time, it doesn't really add much if you just want to throw in a Seraphonite and a Garnet in there so you can play it in the future. So be aware before buying it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to be featured in the next video, go down into the comment section and type your idea for the next video, and your idea might be picked and your comment could be featured. As well, if you guys want to communicate with me and the rest of the BladeYGO community further than just the YouTube comment section, go down into the description and join my Discord server. I'd love to have you guys there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and with that, I hope to see you soon.